I want to discuss an event that happened with you and me a couple nights ago, where I was curious about the news stories that I was hearing, and it occurred to me that we have cable, and I can watch television, and I watched. I turned on Fox News.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, let's see.
Let's find the truth.
Let's get some balanced. Let's
Yeah.
get some balance in this
Yes.
news cycle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Enough with the fake news.
Enough with it.
Yeah.
Let's give it to me straight. You know,
Yes.
tell it like it is. And so I ended up watching. I want to say like 3.5 hours. You came out of your room, and I was in it to win it. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is fascinating. And I have not watched Fox News since I was probably in high school, maybe. Like and certainly, I mean, maybe when I'm like visiting home. My dad watches it way too much.
And then 2 hours in the morning.
2 hours in the morning, 2
Yeah.
hours at night.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
But apart from that, virtually never.
Never, God
Yeah.
no. I mean, I just got to get my fix. You
Yeah.
know? But I was watching it, and we. It was interesting to watch it with you, and your girlfriend, and it was like it was a very sort of like. It was interesting to hear your responses to it and like your kind of interpretation of what was happening. But man, like what they were saying on that. Speaking of mimetic desire, it was all through a particular lens of seeing the world and the level of like playing and the level of laughter, the level of camaraderie that was happening among. It was like it really was like seeing into an in group that had scapegoated. If I were to try to segue from what you said to what I'm talking about, there was definitely like. Oh, they're like laying into. It's still Hillary, like it's still Obama. It's still, and it's the same thing on the other side. Like it's not, Trump is the epitome of all things evil, according to the people, at least in this town. And it's like, it's fascinating when you can funnel all of your like political things. Everything you're against, you can funnel into another person, and that's very like. And then you see them talking about the kind of elbowing each other and the laughing, and it's like this is like such an insane, like propaganda. It is that, and I hesitate to use that word until I was watching it, and I was like, oh no, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like that Tucker Carlson guy, Pete, he's insane.
Which one?
Tucker Carlson.
Oh yeah, he was fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
He's a permanent frown on his face. Yeah.
Yeah, and like he's really listening.
Yeah.
We were talking about that like trick of being like, well, so what do you?
Yeah. I mean, this is a good example of the distinction Girard makes between myth and truth, where he says a myth, the basic structure of a myth is it creates a scapegoat, and it says in some respects the scapegoat is guilty, or the scapegoat is a necessary evil or problem, and that the scapegoat is ordained by the gods or God or karma or whatever to be destroyed.
Or just facts, man. Just facts.
Just facts.
That's like there's like a buddy of mine there's like this phrase that he uses called praise logic, and I hate it very much because I'm like that's what it is now. It's like now it's this narrative that like hey man, it's just facts and it's just logic, and it's like that's the God that's deeming the scapegoats.
Oh yeah, and in terms of that, that's right, because this is deeper than facts and logic. Because here's a good example of say Trump, or take an example Lacan uses where he says, say you're jealous that your partner is sleeping around, and then you discover that your partner is sleeping around. That doesn't mean that you're not paranoid. It just means that the facts cover over your paranoia. So say you've got a paranoid structure and you're paranoid you're going to have cancer, but you end up having cancer. What happens is you can go, look, I'm not paranoid, I have cancer. But actually, you could still be paranoid. It's just the facts covered over.
Isn't that a Freudian thing? Doesn't he say like you can be both paranoid and your wife can still be cheating?
Exactly.
On you?
Yeah. It's exactly psychoanalytic.
That's so
idea.
funny.
It's funny. Yeah.
That's such a good.
And that's why
you're still insecure and still like whatever, and you're still
Yeah. That's why pure facts. You've got to get to the level of mimetic desire, because facts can simply cover over the more basic way we desire, because you go like, no, I have reasons to believe this, and maybe you do, but sometimes the facts just cover over a more fundamental structure. So in mythology, the myth is there is an enemy that if we destroy them, harmony will be returned to the community. You know, fullness, plenitude of being will be returned to the community.
The good old days.
Yeah, good old days. And truth for Girard is where the revelation happens, that you realize that actually the scapegoat is the container of your own violence, that actually the founding violence that's being done is a reflection of your own inner violence. That's why he calls Christianity or the crucifixion true. That he doesn't mean it happened or anything like that. He means that it reveals that the people that we kill are victims of our own violence. So yeah, when I was watching Fox News, it was like, and other news channels probably would be the same, but it's like, oh, this is, in Girard's sense, mythology, because it creates an enemy and it says the violence is in the enemy, and it basically disavows our own violence.